Hello, it's Jo from Beaumont here. I hope you're well. I just wanted to do a quick video because I have had a lot of reference requests in the last few weeks, which is great news. Always happy to give a reference for people who've worked for me. And it's great news that there's jobs coming back onto the market. So I thought it might be a good time to do a little reference refresher if you're starting to think about maybe hiring people again in the next few months. So a good reference is an essential part of the recruitment process, and it's one certainly not to be skipped over. My top tips for a good reference would be to make sure that you have planned your questions. Make sure that you know exactly what you are going to say, so you're not stumbling around the questions when you're speaking to a referee whose time might be precious. And also, of course, you want to make yourself sound professional and reputable. Make sure that you ask your referee, is it a good time to talk? This is a really important question because if you get somebody who seems distracted or isn't in a good place to give some good solid information about the candidate, it may seem that they're not keen on the candidate when this might not be the case. I always ask, are you in an open plan office? Is it a good time to talk? Can you be overheard by anybody? Just do that before you start, and that eliminates any confusion around any hesitation or the referee seeming like they're not interested in giving the reference to you. Make sure that you always ask open-ended questions. Now, this seems really basic, but I have had some terrible references in the last 2 or 3 weeks where my only option was to say yes or no. And of course, I expanded on that, but some people won't. So make sure that you, when you're planning your reference questions, that they are not closed and that they give the referee an opportunity to really express what they've felt working with the candidate. Always have questions that dig a little bit as well ready. So can you tell me a bit more about that? Can you give me an example of when the candidate was efficient, organised, positive? Can you tell me a little bit more about how they coped with this? What would happen in this situation? Did they experience anything like X, Y, Z? Are always really good reference questions to have up your sleeve for when you get somebody who struggles to expand a little bit on what they're saying. Ask for examples. Verify that the person you're speaking to is the person that you should be speaking to. If it's not their manager, you need to find out why. Now, you go back to the candidate and you can ask the candidate why they've decided not to give their manager. That may show an underlying red flag, or it may be completely explainable and have a perfectly reasonable reason why they've not given their direct line manager. They may have moved on and lost contact, for example. And my final top tip for any reference would always be dig. Dig, dig, dig. You need to allow the person to really give their thoughts on what they want to say about the candidate. You need to really listen for pauses and hesitations. I often say to people, you paused when I asked you that. Is there anything that they didn't do so well in this aspect? It's very easy to focus on what they did well. Don't be afraid to say to them, I can sense some hesitation in your voice there. Is there anything else you want to tell me? And even if you need to say to them, off the record, I'll put my pen down, I'll stop typing and stop making notes. What is it that I need to know about this person to make them the best employee for me they can be? I also really like to throw in there as well, what management style do they work best under, which is always really useful information. So even if you've got an amazing candidate that you are excited about and you know will fit into your organisation, it is definitely worth asking what management style did you use with the person, what gets the best out of them and what doesn't, and because that will help your new employee hopefully settle into your company quickly and efficiently. So they are my top tips for references. Make sure you plan, make sure you ask if it's a good time, make sure you investigate and dig, explore any hesitations or pauses, and make sure that you ask for lots and lots of examples. And don't forget to verify the person that you're speaking to. Is it really their manager? Were they really somebody who line managed your candidate? Because that's really what you need to find out for the best reference. I hope that helps. Give me a call if I can help with anything else at all. And I hope you're all keeping well. Thank you.